When you look at AT&T on a global basis, I bet you there may be 4 or 5 players in the world that have the assets, the capability, and the know-how to even match with us.
Technology. It's erased the time zones and geographic boundaries that used to define where and how a company did business. More companies of every size are selling to consumers and businesses around the world. AT&T's strategy is simple: be where customers are doing business globally. The company's embracing that strategy with an unprecedented investment. Seizing the opportunity to create a North American footprint, AT&T has made a bold move into Mexico. And along with its commitment to the new technologies of software-defined networking and the ubiquitous sensors and worldwide connections of the Internet of Things, AT&T is poised to fulfill its mission of becoming the premier integrated communications company in the world.
We like the idea of following our best customers around the world because they keep us on our edge, they keep us being our best. And I love the challenge of coming up with solutions that will help them run their businesses better.
Ralph de la Vega is vice chairman of AT&T Incorporated and its CEO of Business Solutions and International.
What differentiates you from your competition, AT&T?
I would say the biggest thing is that we're the world's largest fully integrated and scaled integrated services provider with high quality services that can follow multinationals around the world, but at the same time give the local customer great service here in the United States.
From the largest to the smallest?
From the largest to the smallest. What I like about where we stand now is, according to IDC or even Gartner, AT&T is the world leader when it comes to business solutions worldwide.
And it's the company's business segment, made up of more than 3.5 million business customers, that delivers the company's largest revenue stream, over $70 billion a year.
And every year we have a high target to figure out how to grow a $70 billion company. That's no small feat. That's why we have to be aggressively pursuing the opportunities that are available to us around the globe, especially following our top customers. You know, we're very, very lucky to have what I think is the best customer base anywhere in the planet, and that is we serve nearly every single Fortune 1000 firm globally.
It's a customer base that spans nearly 200 countries on 6 continents. A customer base that knows what it wants.
Essentially, companies want the same type of service they get on Park Avenue. They want it in Milan. They want it in China, and they want it in Moscow.
Frank Jules is the president of AT&T Global Business, responsible for serving enterprise, mid-market, education, healthcare, government, and systems integrator customers around the world. With administrative offices, factories, and sales centers all over the globe, these customers look to AT&T to handle the complexities of dealing with multiple telecom providers in different countries and making it all seamless.
They don't want to have to deal with China Telecom. They don't want to have to deal with Vodafone, Orange, and BT, just to name a few, because they'd have to deal with the local provider in each one of those countries. And so our team takes that problem away. We have large relationships with those companies. We help them install service, maintain service, and deliver innovation around the globe.
In a global market, Jules sees evolving trends and customer requirements, trends that are shaping the future and translating into opportunities for his team. What AT&T can deliver to business customers, it calls the power of and.
One of the things customers are looking for are ways to inject speed into everything they do. So can we help stay in front of them as they open offices, as they close offices, as they need more what we call bandwidth to drive applications. Second is mobility applications. Everybody is looking to take an application that was formerly on a desktop. Can they put it on a tablet or a smartphone? Third will be security. You can't pick up a paper today without reading about all the security concerns that any corporation would have around the globe. So those are really new growth areas. And one of our biggest challenges is to make sure our teams are ready and prepared to seize those opportunities. So we've got to train and educate both our internal teams and our customers to help them understand the power of the new AT&T.
To address many of these emerging opportunities, AT&T recently created a new business unit called Integrator Solutions, led by Ann Chow.
We are not pushing products by any stretch. We are not just pushing technology. This is really all about helping customers' businesses grow and evolve, become even more efficient and more competitive themselves.
This group is responsible for developing, delivering, and managing integrated solutions for AT&T's largest multinational business customers. A prime example of that type of relationship is in the energy sector.
Shell has been one of our marquee clients, and we have had a multi-year storied path with them. So when we won that opportunity, and it was sort of the penultimate of a sourcing agreement around the globe, we also provided a whole array of different services, from voice to data to managed mobility to all kinds of device level management. And so we had this wonderful opportunity to demonstrate our value to, honestly, one of the biggest marquee brands all around the globe. And quite frankly, as we were ramping, we had some challenges.
In the beginning, there were a lot of struggles.
Harry de Grijs is Vice President and Chief Information Officer for Royal Dutch Shell.
AT&T was not as global as we had hoped. The machine was not as streamlined as we had hoped. Lots of things went wrong, and I'm sure they have the same observations around Shell.
They were very much candid with us about our performance, about where we stood, in terms of not necessarily delivering on our commitments and their perception.
Over time, getting to know each other, very important, getting to know each other's businesses, understanding what success means for each other, that really helped to grow that relationship and really the success of the collaboration.
One of the proudest accomplishments, I can say, looking back for the team, has been really turning that around. Not only have we provided an immense amount of value technologically in the services that we provide, but we turned around an operational performance issue that was fairly prolific.
And now AT&T is trusted advisor status.
Indeed, a trusted advisor. We think that they're doing very well, we trust on them, and they're part of our secure and reliable operations.
And this is not a small operation that you're talking about.
Indeed, 100 countries, 150,000 users, we have 300 server locations, we have 10 big data centers, close to 60,000 mobile devices, and it all needs to work 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And it's my neck which is on the block if it doesn't work. So I have a vested interest there that it works.
And that vested interest is not just around AT&T's operational excellence. Today's global customers are looking for an effortless experience from a trusted advisor.
What we find with many of our largest clients is that they don't actually want to be sold to in the most traditional, I would say, stereotypical sense. They are looking for value. They are looking for those who actually can understand their business, who can understand their industry, understand their competitive environment, and those who can actually take technology and translate it into their environments and come up with integrated solutions.
That focus on integrated solutions is core to AT&T's strategy. It's the power of and they're putting their money where their mouth is. As part of this year's $22 billion capital investment plan, AT&T will put $10 billion of that money into integrated solutions.
What is AT&T going to get for that money? What do you get for $10 billion?
You get to follow your best customers, the global Fortune 1000 companies globally. But in addition to that, some of that investment reflects the investments we're making in our operations in Mexico, for example.
In 2015, AT&T purchased the third and fourth largest wireless operators in Mexico, Usacell and Nextel Mexico, and set out to rebrand the resulting entity as AT&T.
But it's more than buying the number 3 and the number 4 player and integrating those. It's really now looking at transforming that market.
Thaddeus Arroyo is CEO of AT&T Mexico, a company that today serves 8% of the Mexican wireless market, but with intentions to challenge Mexico's largest wireless provider, Telcel, over the next decade. As the team continues its rapid network build, Arroyo sees opportunity to take share from Telcel's current position.
This is 70% of the market who for many years haven't had compelling alternatives. And then to communicate to that base of customers the compelling benefits of our 4G LTE network. And then ultimately an experience, because to me at the end of the day, we win or lose in the marketplace with the experience that we attach to everything. bringing both the world-class network and the experiences to Mexico, I think, is the winning formula. Interestingly enough, that's the same formula we followed in the United States.
And that formula is fueling the company's global strategy, as AT&T now has the largest network in North America, a high-quality, expansive LTE network that allows for a seamless experience that's effortless.
And we can drive integrated experiences on both sides of the border like none other, because it's the AT&T network. Today, as we sit here, with the progress that we've made from just last year, our North American network already covers a population of people and businesses of over 355 million people, and it's going to exceed 400 million by 2018.
With that type of access to the LTE network across the North American footprint, Arroyo sees AT&T's presence in Mexico as a catalyst for economic transformation.
The mobile internet in Mexico, I believe, will have the same impact that it's had in the United States, and that has been a source of economic growth, an engine of innovation. And an important part of that is what comes behind it and what becomes possible.
And what's possible in Mexico will be driven by the fiber infrastructure powering the mobility network. In large cities like Mexico City, getting fiber to a cell site often means running it to the roof of a building where the cell site resides. In many cases, that fiber's past several other buildings on the way to its destination. That pathway offers potential throughout Mexico.
Once you put a fiber to a building in Mexico, we can provide software-defined services on top so that the service we provide a large business in Mexico will be the same as we provide a large business in Dallas.
With this software-defined networking, AT&T suddenly becomes a large-scale player in the enterprise business space in Mexico, offering services like Network on Demand and NetBond, services that allow customers to build on the power of software-defined networks with the quality and reliability they've come to expect from AT&T. And for AT&T, that's a model to follow in the rest of the world.
It's an absolute game changer. For a global operator like us, it is the ultimate approach that we want to take, because the beautiful thing about the software-defined network is once you develop the new software, you can distribute it to all the nodes in the world very fast, very efficiently, so you have worldwide capabilities that would have been, so difficult to replicate on a hardware-based environment.
It's no surprise that we're looking at software-defined networking. Software doing more and more of the infrastructure work, getting away from that you need boxes to do your routing, boxes for your firewalls. All of that being virtualized, all of that can be done from a place just by software, and then really being able to offer fast services to our business, really being able to do new things quicker.
So what do you see for the future? Where can both parties grow?
I would hope that we can even more benefit from AT&T's innovation capability. Think about wireless becoming available not just in the office, but in the plant as well. Internet of Things is coming. Yeah. So having things out there which are connected, which we can get data from and do analysis on, and through big data then get to better outcomes and to value propositions which we have not been able to provide before.
Well, people out there said that the Internet of Things is the next industrial revolution, and I believe that that's true.
Chris Penrose is Senior Vice President of AT&T's Internet of Things organization. We met with him in Atlanta at the AT&T Drive Studio, the first connected car innovation center in the U.S. to be opened by a wireless carrier. This 5,000-plus square foot facility was designed to create the future of connected cars. In addition to the automotive industry, AT&T's Internet of Things organization is focused on wearables, connected homes, health, businesses, and cities.
The Internet of Things truly is creating the future of where we're going. It's connecting things that have never been connected before, and it's transforming the way businesses are operating or transforming the way consumers are interacting with their products and services.
But the power of these Internet of Things solutions lies in the byproduct of their connectivity.
Ultimately, we want to connect everything, and we think everything's better connected and better connected by AT&T. But once the connectivity is there, you want to be able to take information off those end devices and be able to take action against that information.
AT&T has over 26 million IoT devices connected to its network, collecting and reporting massive amounts of data and real-time information to users and businesses around the globe. Information that can be used to help companies make changes that reduce costs, automate operations, and save time. The intersection between connectivity and big data is driving the global IoT phenomenon.
companies really do want to have a global solution, and they want to be able to work with a single carrier to help them provide that solution around the world. One of the things we created in IoT is what we call the global SIM, and this allows companies to take an AT&T SIM, put it inside their device, and we can light it up and make it work in over 200 countries around the globe.
Give me a great example of that, how that works.
We just made an announcement where we've been supporting General Motors here in the United States, but we've now taken that to Europe. So Opel and Vauxhall vehicles are putting our global SIM inside that. Those vehicles are traveling all over Europe. AT&T's global SIM allows it to be provisioned in each one of those countries to be able to operate, and it's just continuing to grow and accelerate.
With more than 8 million connected cars on the company's network, AT&T's global SIM platform has made the company the leader in this space. And the global SIM has allowed AT&T to pursue other opportunities on the horizon. This is Port Newark in New Jersey, the principal container ship facility for goods entering and leaving the northeastern quadrant of North America. To see the global SIM in action, we were invited aboard the Maersk Ohio, a ship that can take up to 4,300 containers on a 28-day round trip to Northern Europe.
The North Atlantic is a very fickle body of water. We refer to it as the pond. It's not always the pond.
Joey Smith is the chief officer of the Ohio. He's responsible for the safe delivery of the ship's cargo, much of which is transported in special refrigerated containers called reefers.
A lot of pork products coming out of the Carolinas. You see imported fish coming from the Philippines, pharmaceuticals, tobacco products. Any type of controlled atmosphere product that needs to be moved in bulk, they'll put in these reefers.
Maersk has connected over 270,000 of its reefers to AT&T's network. Using the AT&T Global SIM, Maersk now has near real-time visibility into the conditions of each refrigerated container at almost any point in its journey through the supply chain. Being able to monitor temperature, humidity, and mechanical performance from virtually anywhere in the world helps ensure that high-value cargo reaches its destination in optimal condition. It's just another example of AT&T's leadership in the global IoT space, a space that some analysts expect to grow by as much as $1.7 trillion by 2020.
The opportunities are really quite endless when you combine, I would say, our networking leadership and the power of global networking, and you think about it in a mobilized and virtualized environment. It's really quite an exciting time.
The world is good and it's changing, and that's exciting, and it delivers lots of opportunities, and I look forward to build on those together with AT&T.
AT&T is leading the way in a global marketplace. With a laser focus on their multinational business customers and the high-value relationships that'll ensure future growth. Along with the company's investments in expanding its LTE network into Mexico and the revolutionary technologies of software-defined networking and Internet of Things, AT&T is indeed executing on its strategy to invest to become the premier integrated communications company in the world.
The approach that we're taking to market today to be a global integrated services provider is so unique, is so special, that very few people get a chance to be a part of a company like this. This is our time. We're going to make a mark on this planet with the services and the things that we're about to unleash. And to get ready, it's going to be a thrilling ride.
Up next on AT&T Strategy Series.
Okay, AT&T, new mission to become the premier integrated communications company in the world.
Absolutely.
Where does finance play a role in that?
Once you create this great integrated carrier, you then have to kind of maximize the value you get from it, and that's where finance comes in.
Part 6, operate with an industry-leading cost structure, coming soon.